My beloved brothers and sisters, today I want to remind myself and all of you of a very simple yet powerful teaching from our faith. Do good or remain silent. These few words carry oceans of wisdom. They remind us that every word we utter and every action we perform is being recorded. And one day, we will be held accountable. The tongue is a gift from Allah, but it can either elevate us to the highest ranks of paradise or drag us down into destruction. So, the choice is ours. Either we use it for good or we protect ourselves and others by remaining silent. Firstly, we must understand the value of words. In Islam, words are not just sounds or letters, they have weight. A word of encouragement can heal a heart, and a word of insult can destroy it. A promise fulfilled brings trust, while a promise broken shatters it. One statement can unite families, and another can divide them. That is why our beloved Prophet taught us that whoever believes in Allah and the last day should either speak good or remain silent. It is a condition of faith, not just a matter of etiquette. My beloved brothers and sisters, when we reflect upon the first key point, the value of words in Islam and their consequences, we realize that this is not a small matter, but rather a very deep and serious one. Every word we utter is written down by the angels appointed to us. And on the day of judgment, these very words will either testify in our favor or testify against us. Allah reminds us in the Quran that not a single word is spoken except that there is a watcher ready to record it. This means that even when we think our words are insignificant, they are never lost, they are preserved, and one day we will meet them again. Sometimes we think it is just a joke or a passing remark, but those very words can affect our destiny. One statement of truth can open the doors of paradise, while one statement of arrogance or disbelief can seal a person's doom. It is said that a person may utter a word without giving it much thought, but because of it, Allah grants them His pleasure and admits them into Jannah. Another may speak a careless word, and it becomes the reason for Allah's anger and punishment. This is why the Prophet emphasized the power of the tongue. He warned us that most of the people who fall into hellfire do so because of what their tongues have earned. If we understood this, we would be far more cautious about how we use our speech. Our words have consequences not just for our hereafter, but also for our lives in this world. A kind word can uplift someone who is broken. It can heal the wounded heart of a friend, a spouse, or even a stranger. A sincere apology can repair years of damage in a relationship. On the other hand, a harsh insult can break a heart beyond repair, and a single lie can destroy years of trust. In business, in family, words determine whether relationships thrive or collapse. So, when we say value your words, we mean value your future, your relationships, and your soul. Brothers and sisters, we live in a time where words are spread faster than ever before. Social media has given our tongues a digital form. A single post, a single comment can reach thousands of people within seconds. That means our responsibility has become even greater. When we type, when we share, when we forward, it is like we are speaking with our tongues. And the angels are still writing. If what we write is good, it will be a source of ongoing charity. But if it is harmful, it will continue to pile sins upon us even when we are asleep. So, the principle remains the same. If it is not good, remain silent. We must also remember that words are a trust. Allah gave us the ability to speak, as a means of expressing gratitude, of spreading His message, and of reminding others of Him. The tongue was not given to us so we could waste it in gossip, slander, lies, or insults. To misuse the tongue is to betray the trust of Allah. This is why scholars often say, the tongue is like a sharp sword. If you use it carefully, it will protect you, but if you wave it carelessly, it will destroy you. So, my beloved, let us weigh our words before we speak. Let us ask, will this bring me reward or regret? Will it bring someone closer to Allah or push them away? Will it build bridges or burn them? If the answer is good, then speak it with sincerity. If not, then silence is safer. Remember, silence has never been recorded against a person, but careless speech has ruined countless souls. Value your words because in them lies your peace in this world and your success in the hereafter. Would you like me to move on and expand key point? No. As to into 500 words in the same style. You said, key point not to expended in 500 words without heading. ChatGPT said, my beloved brothers and sisters, when we think about the second key point, silence as a form of wisdom when goodness cannot be spoken, we begin to realize that silence is not weakness, nor is it emptiness. Silence is actually a powerful shield, a source of dignity, and in many cases, it is more eloquent than speech itself. Our beloved Prophet taught us that if we cannot say something good, it is better to remain silent. That silence, in reality, becomes an act of worship because it saves us from sin and it protects the hearts of others from harm. So many times in our lives, we feel the urge to reply, to defend ourselves, to comment, or to give an opinion, even when it may not bring any benefit. But wisdom lies in knowing that not every situation requires words. Sometimes the noblest response is to say nothing. When people provoke us, waiting to see our reaction, silence robs them of victory. When others insult us, silence guards our dignity. When gossip is spreading, silence breaks the chain. And when we do not have full knowledge of a matter, silence saves us from speaking without understanding, which could lead to lies, slander, or misguidance. Brothers and sisters, silence is not just the absence of speech. It is the presence of self-control. It is the ability to hold back when the heart is boiling with anger or when the tongue is eager to respond. How many families have been torn apart because someone failed to remain silent in the heat of the moment? How many friendships have been destroyed because of words that could have been avoided? A moment of silence could have prevented years of regret. Think about it. Once a word leaves your mouth, you can never take it back. You may apologize, but the wound it caused may remain. Silence, on the other hand, at times, silence is a teacher. It teaches us patience, humility, and reflection. A wise person listens more than they speak. Allah gave us 2 ears and 1 tongue, reminding us to listen twice as much as we speak. Listening requires silence, and in silence, we gain knowledge and understanding. When we remain silent, we hear not just the words of people, but also the whispers of our own heart and the reminders of our soul. In silence, we remember Allah. In silence, we make dhikr. In silence, we reflect on our purpose. There are also times when silence is more powerful than words. When someone is trying to drag you into an argument, silence can end it. When someone insults you, silence can demonstrate your strength. When falsehood is being spread, silence saves you from joining the crowd of the heedless. This is not cowardice, it is wisdom. Cowardice is when we remain silent in the face of injustice that must be spoken against. But wisdom is when we remain silent in matters where our words would bring no benefit and only cause harm. The difference lies in intention and judgment. My brothers and sisters, let us learn to value silence as a form of worship. Not every opinion needs to be voiced. Not every provocation deserves a reply. Not every conversation requires our input. Sometimes, the best thing you can do for yourself and for others is to remain silent, to let your heart speak to Allah, and to protect your tongue from sin. Remember, silence will never be counted against you, but speech might. So, when in doubt, choose silence. It is not emptiness. It is wisdom, mercy, and protection. My beloved brothers and sisters, when we come to the third key point, speaking good as an act of charity and worship, we discover one of the most beautiful aspects of our deen. Often when we hear the word charity, we think of giving wealth, clothing, or food. But the Prophet A taught us that every good word is also a form of charity. A smile is charity. A kind greeting is charity. A word of encouragement is charity. Even guiding someone gently towards what is right is charity. This means that our tongues, if used correctly, can become a constant source of reward even when we do not have money to give. Every word spoken with sincerity has the power to lift hearts and change lives. Imagine a brother or sister struggling with sadness, feeling alone, and you simply say to them, "Do not worry, Allah is with you." That sentence cost you nothing, but it could carry them through their darkest night. Imagine someone who has lost hope and you remind them, Allah's mercy is greater than your sins. Those words could save them from despair and bring them back to the path of Allah. This is why speaking good is not just charity. It is worship. It is a means of bringing benefit to creation, and Allah loves those who benefit others. Brothers and sisters, good words are not limited to religious reminders. Everyday kindness also falls under this category. Saying thank you to the one who serves you, may Allah bless you. To the one who helps you, I appreciate you. To your parents, your spouse, your children, all of these are words that plant seeds of love and compassion. They strengthen bonds, and when relationships are strong, communities become strong. This is why Allah has made our speech a tool of mercy, a tool of healing, a tool of unity. But let us not forget that intention matters. A good word spoken with arrogance is not the same as a good word spoken with humility. Advice given with harshness may push someone away, while the same advice given with gentleness may draw them closer. The Prophet A was the best example in this. He spoke to people at their level with compassion, always choosing words that would inspire rather than humiliate. If our goal is to please Allah, then even the smallest of good words will be recorded as worship. In today's world, where negativity spreads quickly, speaking good is more needed than ever. On social media, in our homes, in our workplaces, people are hungry for words that give them hope, encouragement, and reminders of Allah. Instead of adding to the noise of complaints, gossip, and criticism, be the voice of goodness. Share a verse of Quran, a dua, a kind reminder, or even a simple, "May Allah guide us all." These are words that may reach someone's heart at the perfect time, and you may not even know the reward that awaits you for them. So, my brothers and sisters, treat every opportunity to speak as an opportunity for charity. When you cannot give with your hands, give with your tongue. When you cannot help with wealth, help with words. Let your tongue become a river of kindness, mercy, and remembrance of Allah. And remember, when you speak good, you are not only benefiting others, you are cleansing your own soul and drawing nearer to your Lord. Speaking good is not just communication. It is worship, it is sadaqah, and it is a pathway to paradise. My beloved brothers and sisters, when we reflect on the fourth key point, avoiding harm through silence in times of anger or conflict, we recognize a wisdom that can save us from countless regrets in life. Anger is a natural emotion, but what we say in anger can become a weapon that wounds hearts and destroys relationships. The tongue, when driven by anger, is like a fire. Once unleashed, it burns everything in its path. And yet, if we train ourselves to remain silent at such moments, that silence becomes a shield, protecting us from sin and from harming those we love. How many times have we heard of marriages collapsing, friendships ending, or families breaking apart because of words spoken in anger? A spouse says something harsh to their partner in a heated moment, and though later they apologize, the wound lingers. A parent scolds a child with cruel words, and the child remembers those words for years. A friend insults another in a dispute, and the friendship never recovers. All of this could have been avoided if, in that heated moment, silence was chosen instead of speech. Silence cannot be taken back, but words cannot be undone. The Prophet A taught us that when a person is angry, they should remain silent. This is not weakness, but strength. It takes far more courage to hold your tongue than to unleash it. Anger makes us feel powerful in the moment, but its consequences reveal our weakness. Silence, on the other hand, shows true self-control, wisdom, and patience. It prevents us from adding fuel to the fire. It allows us time to think, to calm down, and to choose our words carefully later when our hearts are at peace. Brothers and sisters, conflict is a test of character. Anyone can speak kindly when they are calm, but the true believer is the one who controls themselves when provoked. Silence in such moments does not mean surrendering to injustice. It means refusing to let your tongue become a weapon of destruction. You can still stand for truth, but in a way that is measured, respectful, and free of hurtful words. Silence buys us time to respond with wisdom instead of impulse. Consider how many sins are committed in anger, insults, curses, backbiting, lies, and sometimes even broken oaths. A single argument can lead to years of estrangement between family members. But if one side chooses silence, the conflict often dies down quickly. Anger feeds on anger, but silence starves it. This is why silence is not just the absence of words. It is a means of extinguishing the fire of anger before it spreads. In our daily lives, we will face many provocations. Someone may insult you at work, a family member may frustrate you at home, or a stranger may cut you off in traffic. In each of these moments, you have a choice to respond with sharp words that escalate the situation, or to remain silent and protect your peace. Remember, silence at such times is not weakness. It is worship. It is obedience to the guidance of the Prophet. It is choosing Allah's pleasure over your ego. So, my beloved brothers and sisters, let us practice silence in times of anger. Let us train ourselves to pause, to hold back, to remember Allah before our tongues betray us. A single moment of silence can save us from a lifetime of regret. And when we learn to control our tongues in anger, we not only protect our own dignity, but we also protect the hearts of others. This is true strength, and this is the path that leads to peace in this world and reward in the hereafter. My beloved brothers and sisters, when we come to the fifth key point, building community through positive speech and restraint, we begin to see how our individual words have a collective impact. A community is not built with bricks and cement alone. It is built with trust, love, and understanding. And one of the most powerful tools that either strengthens or weakens these bonds is the tongue. When people choose to speak good and to remain silent when tempted to harm, the community thrives. When people misuse their words, the community fractures and trust begins to fade. Imagine a society where every person chose to speak only what is good. There would be no backbiting, no gossip, no insults, no lies. Instead, people would greet each other with kindness. They would encourage one another. They would remind each other of Allah and of the hereafter. Such a society would radiate peace. But unfortunately, what often destroys communities is not poverty, nor lack of resources, but the poison of the tongue. When gossip spreads, it plants seeds of hatred. When lies circulate, trust evaporates. When insults are normalized, hearts become hardened. A community cannot survive when its members harm each other with their speech. Brothers and sisters, positive speech is more than just avoiding bad words. It is about actively spreading goodness with our tongues. Saying Assalamu alaikum, sincerely making dua for others, offering words of encouragement, thanking those who serve us, all of these are small acts that create an atmosphere of love and mercy. When you greet someone warmly, you remind them that they are valued. When you pray for someone's success, you plant hope in their heart. When you refrain from exposing someone's faults, you protect their dignity. These small actions build a sense of unity and belonging. On the other hand, restraint is equally important. Not everything we hear needs to be repeated. Not everything we know needs to be shared. Many conflicts arise simply because people fail to remain silent when they should. A careless comment about someone's character can ignite a fire of suspicion. A rumor passed along without verification can split families apart. A harsh word uttered in public can humiliate someone and create resentment. The community weakens when people prefer gossip over silence and insults over restraint. The Prophet compared believers to a single body. When one part feels pain, the whole body reacts. This means that our words to each other are not just personal. They affect the entire community. If I choose to speak good to my neighbor, it may encourage him to do the same to his family. If I choose silence instead of spreading gossip, I prevent harm from reaching dozens of ears. Every choice we make with our tongues has a ripple effect. And when those ripples are positive, they eventually turn into waves of goodness that uplift the whole community. So, my brothers and sisters, if we want strong families, united communities, and peaceful societies, we must begin with our tongues. Speak good when you can, it will build love. Remain silent when tempted to harm, it will build trust. The masjid, the marketplace, the workplace, the home, all of these spaces can become gardens of peace if the members who occupy them learn to use their tongues wisely. Let us remember, one good word can unite hearts, while one careless word can divide them. If we want our communities to prosper in the sight of Allah, then let our tongues become tools of construction, not destruction.